It's Disc of Lady Ada, Hackaday.io contest edition.
Woo! Yeah! Exciting! Hi, everybody. It's me, Lady Ada. I'm at my desk. It's another Desk of Lady Ada, as you can see from this hashtag. And today, we're going to be talking about this Hackaday.io contest. Yet again, we're doing a series of 10 videos, and that's why you're like, it seems like we've already done like 9 videos or so. You're right, this is about our 9th video. We're gonna have another one after this, of course, and maybe we'll have a bonus one later. But this is an all in honor of the Hackaday.io PiZero contest. Pi Hack Ada is the name of the hashtag contest. You can win Raspberry Pi Zero. You still have plenty of time to enter this contest. This contest has been running since February 2nd. It's running until it's running until March 14th. And the grand prize winners, there's 3 of them, can win a $100 gift certificate to the Hackaday store. And until February 25th, you can enter in your contest entry and win one of 10 Raspberry Pi Zeros. These are very hard to get. There's hundreds of thousands of you that want these, and there aren't hundreds of thousands of them in existence. We're waiting for another shipment. As soon as we get in, we'll put it in the store. But I do have a stash of 10 that I have kept for myself. You get one of those super secret stash 10 pieces. Super easy. There's me. I'm giving it to you because you documented your project on Hackaday.io. You don't need a Raspberry Pi to enter. You can 3D model, you can draw, you can prototype with a different single board computer, you can prototype with an Arduino, you can prototype with a 555 timer and then replace it with a PiZero. Not a problem. All good. Whatever you want to do, the best documented, most well thought out 10 entries will win a PiZero. And then on March 14th, 2 weeks later, the grand prize winners, 3 of them will win a $100 gift certificate. So you can win twice, and then you can still enter in to the Hackaday prize, the 2016 moonshot. Literally, they will send you to space.
All participants in the Hackaday.io contest will also get a cat.
Meow.
Yeah. There he is.
Yeah, we've tricked him into it.
This is the cat camp.
This is MOSFET.
Yeah, this is MOSFET the cat.
MOSFET the cat.
He's not even one of the judges.
He's not.
No.
He will chew on your project.
No, he's just a house cat.
A 15-year-old cat.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really do much. After 15 years, they just
hang out. All right.
Anyways, back to the party. So we've had 8 videos so far, and we've actually covered quite a lot. We've done digital I/O, we've done analog inputs, we've done PWM, we did some NeoPixels last night, we did connecting to Adafruit I/O via REST interface, we did adding networking, we talked about different ports, we talked about soldering headers, we talked about video, audio, all sorts of things. And tonight I'm actually going to take a break from building hardware live. Don't worry, there will be more live hardware demos. I never get tired of wondering why the hell is this thing not working live on video. It's very exciting. But tonight I thought I would actually take a break, step back, and instead of building something, show you what other people have come up with to build. I'm going to be talking about Pi hats. Little hats that sit on your Pi. And we actually did show off one of these Pi hats before. It was a fat DAC, if you remember. This plugs into the Raspberry Pi Zero and added a dual I2S DAC. So it's a nice little sandwich here. Most Raspberry Pi hats are a little bit larger. I think I have one here somewhere. Yeah, I did grab one. This is the standard. Hey, there you go, hardware gone. This is the standard hat size, and it's the same size as the Model A Plus Raspberry Pi. And you can still plug these into the PiZero. It has that same 2x20 GPIO header that you can actually just solder it directly. You don't even have to plug anything in if you want to just solder it on. It will overlap a little bit. So you can see it's about half the size, but it still works, I mean, mechanically. And so I thought, let's look at some of the hats that other people have designed. I can also show you some of my hats. And also maybe, if we have a little bit of time, I'll quickly go over how you can design your hat in EagleCAD, or of course, you can just do it in KiCad or whatever software you want. Hey, you can do an Illustrator and transfer toner it, or toner transfer it. So let's go to the computer and let's do a little bit of a fat party. Start off with, I just want to give you a link to the Hackaday IO contest. It's hackaday.io/contest/9326. Remember, it's free to enter. Document your project, add it to the contest. There's all sorts of information. Thank you, Adam and Sophie, for doing this thing. So Raspberry Pi hats came out right after the B+. This is from 2014, July 2014, so it's quite a while ago, is when Pi hats were invented. And this is what the old Raspberry Pi looked like. This is the Pi, it's called a 26W connector, 26-way connector, 2x13. And we actually designed a bunch of shields or Pi plates or whatever for this now ancient Raspberry Pi. And the Pi B Plus and A Plus, and now the Pi 2 and the PiZero have a 40-way GPIO connector. So it's a 2x20 connector. However, this 26 pins and the first 26 pins, the ones I'm circling here, are identical. So if you find a design that is based for the Raspberry Pi 1 and it has a 26-pin connector, you can still use it on your PiZero. It is backwards compatible. It'll work just fine. You know, make sure the software is all correct, but I don't see why not. You can then use the rest of the GPIO for something else if you'd like. Okay, so the hat is hardware attached on top, and it's a add-on board. And whoa, don't want to reboot my computer right now. Don't want to install Windows 10. This is the outline of the hat. I don't know what this is the prototype for. Maybe this is this 7-inch display hat or something. But it's this 65 by 56 millimeter rectangular board. They tend to have 4 mounting holes in each corner. There, you can have either pass-through header or double-sided, surface mount, 2x20 over here. And notice that it sits below the plane of the Ethernet and even the USB connector. So it doesn't extend all the way to the edge. That's because you would need extra tall headers to have it clear these ports. There's also another thing. There's also slots if you want to have the display and camera connector. This doesn't matter for you because if you're doing something with the PiZero, you don't have the camera connector or the display connector, so you don't have to worry about those slots. There is also an electrical specification, which you don't have to worry about so much. I've only seen it used with the Sense hat. It was never, I think, implemented completely. There is an EEPROM that is on many hats that's connected to ID-SD and ID-SC. It's a secondary I2C port, and it would have the chunk of the device tree overlay that would be loaded to add support for it. This is actually borrowed from the BeagleBone Black IDEO. They also did ID EEPROMs that held device tree overlays. It's kind of a smart idea. Basically, you plug it in. The kernel, on boot would read the EEPROM and load the overlay, so it would add the hardware support for whatever it is if it needed device tree support, kernel module support. So yeah, this is basically a hat, and as soon as this hat idea came out, we were like, that's a pretty cool idea. We like the idea of a hat. So I'm just going to show off what we have for hats, and all of our designs. You don't have to buy these. This is giving you ideas of the kind of stuff that you can do. But since I designed them, I know about them, so I can cover them up. So let's go to Pi hats. Okay, so this Pi hat's pretty simple. It uses a PCA. 9680, I want to get this right. PCA 9685. It's a 16-channel PWM driver, and you can see this is the rectangular shape of the hat. I have a DC barrel jack over here. This is the chip that actually does the PWM. I have servo control connectors here, so you can connect up to 16 servos. I have a little cute hat logo over here. And this is the EEPROM. The EEPROM is not required, really. You don't need it. I mean, if you want, technically you're supposed to, but really, we don't include it. For example, this is user LAN controlled anyway, so there's no point. We put the EEPROM on it, and it's pretty much blank. It's okay. It's like 25 cents, and we want to do it in case one day we do want to update it to have something in it. And then here's that 2x20 connector, and we have a little bit of space, so we put prototyping. And then there's the slots here and here. And you can basically take the Eagle object, and you'll get those slot locations, indexed out, and these holes located so you can arrange your stuff if you would like to maintain hat standard. But there's not a lot going on here. I mean, basically it's just a mechanical shape, and you put the chip on the inside. And then if you want to use this chip, the nice thing is we already have code for it. And we have some mounting. This is a prototyping hat. So this hat is, a nice white color, and it uses, it has a breadboard-like layout. So you've got a power line, ground line, and then connected traces over here, and then you can see on the bottom they're connected. This is for prototyping. And, again, you have that 2x20. You have the slots. You have 4 holes, and you have EEPROM if you want to put it on. This hat has that same PWM I2C controlled driver and 2 dual H bridges, so you can control motors or stepper motors. So easy. It's not that much circuitry, and then you can fill it with prototyping space. But you can basically mess around with the shape. This one drives RGB matrices. This one has a GPS module, so if you want to add GPS. This is the Raspberry Pi Foundation's official hat. It has an 8x8 RGB matrix. It has 9DOF sensor. Let's see if we can see. So it's got a 9DOF sensor over here. It's got looks like a multiplexer. It's got a humidity sensor, pressure sensor. I don't know what this is. Oh, this is just the LED driver. It's got a joystick, so you can, this was part of the AstroPi event where they actually put this into space. So that's probably what was being prototyped in that photo before. This is they were designing this so that kids could make scientific experiments with this hat. So that's kind of a fun hat. Here's the capacitive touch hat. This uses capacitive touch using the MPR 121, which is it's a low-cost chip. You could buy this and just prototype with it and then use that same code. But you can add capacitive touch, so you could trigger sound or video, whatever, and play video games with it, make a synthesizer. We showed off some of these TFTs before. We have touch screens. Also go over the Pimeroni ones later. This is like a terminal block hat.
One question.
Yeah.
For the folks just tuning in.
Yeah.
So you're showing hats. How do these work, or could these work with a PiZero and the different Raspberry Pis?
Yeah, all of these hats. Because it's kind of a standard. All of these were designed before the PiZero came out, but will work with the PiZero because they use the exact same pinouts as a Pi A plus or a B plus or a Pi 2. So if you want to prototype your project if you want to use like a hat, like a lot of these are open source also, like all of ours are, and you can just design the schematics, you can pull them and remix them and design your own thing. Like if you want 4 stepper motors, you just take our motor hat Eagle file and just duplicate it, and now now you got 4 motors instead of 2. But all of them will work with any Raspberry Pi, including the Zero. But they're really good for inspiration, because if you look at what people have done with the hats, you might be like, oh, I didn't know it was possible to connect e-ink or do capacitive touch. But looking at how that hat was designed, I can use that schematic, that layout, and that code with my own project. Is that what you're asking? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. This is a Pimeroni Pi Glow. It's a little swirly LED. This is the Raspberry robot board. This is by Simon Monk, who does awesome tutorials. And it's basically a motor driver and I think a buck converter all in one. So if you want to do motor control, and this is one that uses that 26-pin header, but it'll work with the PiZero because the first 26 pins are the same on all of them. Some more Pimeroni stuff, I'll show that off later. DPI, there's this black hat. This is the piano hat. We'll go over those. This is another DAC, I2S DAC hat. This is a Cirrus Logic audio card. So this is like a really intense audiophile quality I2S DAC hat. There's also more motor controllers. You can also go to Kickstarter. Kickstarter also has a lot of, some of these exist, some of these don't. But I just know that I've seen a bunch show up. Okay, again, you know, I'm not suggesting you back something in the hopes that you will get it by the time this contest is over. But you can look at it to get inspiration for hat ideas. So this is a e-paper hat. Here's another e-paper hat. A Raspberry IO hat. A touch display hat. UART hat. Just like ideas for like what you can do. This is a battery hat. It goes on. This is a modules hat with all sorts of different modules you can plug in, LEDs and PIRs. This one lets you use Arduino with it. This one is some power over Ethernet thing. Element 14 has also, they're a partner with Raspberry Pi. They've also designed a bunch of hats as well. So they've got that Sense hat. Don't forget, you can't use camera modules, but you can use the Raspberry Pi 7-inch. Oh no, you can't. Sorry, it uses the display port. Forget I said that. I forgot it uses the MIPI connector. But they do carry a whole bunch of accessories that you can look at and get inspired by, like more LCDs, more audio cards, you know, audio-visual accessories, expansion boards. PiFace has 2 relays, has a bunch of buttons. This PiFace has an LCD and buttons and like a knob thing. This is RTC hat, add a real-time clock. NFC hat, you can add near-field communication, RFID. Gert board and Gertduino and Gertbot. This is by, I can't remember his first name, but his last name is Gert, and he's done design for Pi Foundation. Relay board, embedded Pi. I'm just saying, like, there is a lot.
Quick question. Have you seen or heard about a hat that does data over amateur radio or satellite?
I do believe I once saw a ham radio hat, but I don't recall it. But I vaguely remember somebody once telling us about, yeah, there's this like Raspberry Pi ham radio APRS thing. I just don't. I'm afraid I don't remember it. I'm just showing the Pi Hut. It's another store. They have Pi Maroni stuff. They carry some of our stuff. They also have their own IQ Audio, another audiophile I2S DAC, an RTC module, LED, Piborg LED controller, motion and direction, you know, whatever. PiCade, this is a arcade input with audio amplifier controller. The dots board. I forgot about mentioning this. This is a kind of a fun one. This uses conductive ink, and you draw on it, and the Raspberry Pi knows when you're drawing because it uses the conductivity of the ink to detect. These are exposed traces. So it's kind of a fun, interesting idea. There's that Sense hat again. This is a debugging thing. Temperature sensor for Raspberry Pi. So you can see, like, there's a lot. Like traffic hat. And then Pi Maroni also has tons and tons. So I just searched for FAT, which is their small Raspberry Pi hat. So they have that DAC, the I2S DAC. They have an ESP8266 module that connects serially to the hat, so you can control. You can add. Basically, it's Wi-Fi, but use it through the AT command set. The Explorer hat and FAT has analog inputs and some motor controls. It's kind of an easy little all-in-one, kind of does a whole bunch of stuff hat. And a lot of these, the FATs, they're just the same size as the PiZero, so that might be perfect for your project. And if you're in England, you can buy direct from them. They have a scrolling message hat. They have, where is that scrolling message? Here it is, the scroll hat. So it's a 11 by 15 LED grid. that you can control over I squared C. Does exactly what it says. That's great. Let's look for other Pi hats that they might carry. Some digiamp thing. There's a lot. Hold on. They've designed a ton. Some Linux autopilot thing. Like, I don't even know what this is. I guess if you want to make your own drone, robotic, self-moving thing, that's a hat that does that. I mean, there's a lot of specialty hats. Unicorn hat is 8x8 neopixels or compatibles in a grid. Drum hat is a capacitive touch drum pad with 8 pads, so you can make noise and use it with software to sense capacitively. Skyrider hat does a hand motion. E-ink add-on, more Explorer stuff. Propeller, if you like a parallax propeller, add that. Piano hat, so you can touch it and it can play notes through software connected to the Pi. LCD hat with RGB backlight, information on photovisual technology. And yeah, basically just tons of stuff. So that's only like a little piece of the many hats available. And if you would like to make your own hat, you can go to our GitHub and then to, Eagle Library. And I know that somewhere in here, I totally added a hat. But another thing you can do, if you want to, if you prefer to remove, is say take our Promo Proto Hat PCB and download the zip. Hold on. I think there's even the Hackaday Proto Hat. Yes, the Hackaday version. Open it up, and then you can, this actually, what's nice about the Proto Hat, and the reason I suggest actually starting with this one, is it has all the connections brought out, and it has that EEPROM, but then you can just delete all of this prototyping stuff. And this stuff here. Oops, hold on. Delete that. It's going to complain, but it will. Hold on. Oh, sorry, I have to use rip up. And then you can whip everything up, just delete my logo and revision number, and then you have wide open space to put in your circuitry. So if you want to add a chip, let's say you're going to make a 555 hat. Why? I don't know, but you're going to do that. Get a put a 555 in there, and maybe you're going to add a whole bunch of LEDs. And then, of course, you would normally have it do something, but you can go to town and just make a jolly sculler wrencher with LEDs. I don't really know if that's going to work, but and then basically decorate it however you like, and then send it to Osh Park or send it to wherever you like and get it manufactured. So you can have all sorts of fun decorative LEDs.
You can make an Arduino hat.
You can make an Arduino hat. You can do
you could make
anything you want.
You could make a BeagleBone hat.
There you go. So these are all the things that you can do if you want to design your own hat. Go to town, and then you just save it, route it, and as you normally would with EagleCAD. If you want the mechanical details of the Raspberry Pi, it's in here somewhere. Hold on. Hats, sorry. It's in hats. I haven't even updated it recently. Oh, it's some new EEPROM util. But they have EEPROM circuit diagrams showing their suggested EEPROM. If you care about that, there's a tool for generating the what would go in the EEPROM. There's the mechanical spec. So if you don't want to use EagleCAD, you can just basically draw this out in KiCad or whatever and make your hat. So it's a really good way to add hardware to a Raspberry Pi, because it's like you get up this plug and play connectivity, and the GPIOs are in the same location. And especially with the existing hats you can leverage, it might be easier for you to build your project, get off the ground if you're prototyping with a 9DOF hat or an RTC hat, and then you can design your own custom hardware. Kind of like Arduino shields, so a similar idea. I think so. All right, well that's what I got. That's a hat-orama. 30 hats in 10 minutes.
Okay, you did it, and you answered all the questions along the way. So that means there's a cat treat.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I just turned him around. There he is.
Hey, cat. Who's kind of angry? Oh, yeah.
Hey.
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 Hey, cat.
Hey, cat.
Hey, cat.
Hey. He doesn't give a flying.
All right, well, tomorrow is show and tell at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. There is Ask an Engineer with special guest Star Simpson. She'll be showing off,
Oh, yeah,
believe.
that's right. I keep forgetting. Star.
The
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and then we're also going to have 3D Hangouts on Thursday. We'll have some more Deaths of Lady Ada. We're going to wrap up the Hackaday ones, and then also we'll resume our regular ones. Also, don't forget to go to hackaday.io and put up your ideas. Lady Ada gave you a bunch of them that you could make with a hat.
Yeah, and don't forget, we have one more video, so if you have any special requests, tell Sophie and Adam, let them know. But I think we covered a lot. I mean, I can do a video also later, but we're doing it perfect. It's like we're going to actually, we said between the 2nd and the 20th, we were going to do 10 streams, and it's the 16th. We can't do one tomorrow because we're filming tomorrow. So we're probably going to do one Thursday.
Oh. One last question. What type of image would you like to have on a feather wing case? And someone asked, would wings be okay? Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. I would dig that.
That'd be neat.
That'd be neat.
Someone's going to make a little tiny toaster with little flapping wings that's powered by a feather.
That'd be cool. We did have the...
It's going to happen.
We did have the... one of the things I always wanted was the little OLED necklace with the flying toasters, and Phil B did it as one of our projects, and it's still to this day one of my favoriteest projects that we've done. It's awesome. I mean, like, who doesn't want little flying toasters? We should do more flying toaster projects.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you on all of our shows. Adafruit supported by you, our customer. Pick up a kit. Yeah.
Buy a kit and enter into the Hackaday contest.
Thank you so much.